Eggs in a basket, 340 calories. Here's your ingredients. First step, you're going to take your white bread on a cold pan and you're going to cut out the center using the lid from one of your ingredients. When making large quantities for multiple people, I like to save the centers and use them to make French toast bites. It adds a nice contrast to the rest of the meal. Also, I like to use these to make sandwiches with bacon and cheese. So there is a not so healthy version that I make. Next step, obviously, is add your butter. Next step is to turn your pan on so your butter can start melting so you can spread it easier. You're going to rub the bread in the melting butter. And that's simply because nobody wants to handle bread that's covered entirely in butter before you put it in the pan. It's an easy way of doing things. And it makes sure that you don't use too much butter. After you spread your butter around, you're going to go ahead and add your crushed red pepper and your garlic. You're going to want that in there so that when you drop your eggs on top, slowly, your eggs have seasoning on them. If you do it too fast, the eggs are going to push the seasoning to the edges, defeating the purpose in the first place. As you see, I'm taking care not to break the yolks, but if you break the yolks, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's not going to cause any harm to the meal. I'm also going to season this before I put the lid on it. That way the seasoning has time to cook into it, then I could flip it and really cook it into it. Yeah, another thing you're going to notice is that you'll see the whites of the eggs gradually lose their opacity. Once they are almost completely cooked through, that's when you know to flip it. Because the goal here isn't to have a runny egg, the goal here is to have a solid egg. If you want a runny egg, flip it a little sooner. Just know it's going to be a little more difficult to flip, especially if you're using a flat like I am, as opposed to like a standard skillet where you can, flip it properly. You're going to put the lid on, you're going to let it sit for a while, and then when it's ready, you're going to take the lid off and flip it. As you see, the whites are cooked pretty much all the way through. The yolks are still intact. All in all, this is going to come out pretty good. Look at this flip. So after I flip these, I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to keep it at 300 degrees for about a minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn everything off and let it sit for a while and then come back to it. Nice simple ingredients, 340 calories. The bread that I use is 60 calories a slice. There's two slices, so that's 120. The eggs are 60 calories an egg. There's two eggs. That's another 120, which is 240. And then, last but not least, the tablespoon of butter, which is 100 calories by itself. That's absolutely insane. Anyways, enjoy.